Once again, myself and Zach are down at Power Engineering and we are cracking on with his Escort estate sleeper. Basically, he's got to do a gearbox conversion because he's aiming for more power. Currently it's about 350 horsepower, but running the old IB5 gearbox, which is this little thing here, I mean, it's not broken yet, but it's making some funny noises, so it's on...
That one has been broken and has been fixed.
Ah, yeah, so these are probably good for about 300 horsepower max.
I don't know.
250.
People say like 250 horsepower.
Yeah.
But you get lucky, it's like the BCs, people get lucky with them.
Yeah.
Sometimes they last long.
They're a great gearbox, we've always run them, I've run them in my car.
And even when that was making horrific noises, there was only one bearing that was actually gone in it.
Yeah.
And that was rebuilt, kept as a spare box until I decided to go MTX.
Yeah. So now we are opting for the Big Boy MTX gearbox. You can see the physical size of this is bigger. This is out of an Escort or a Mondeo. Focus.
Like a Mondeo Transit Connect.
Yeah, like a Focus RS box. Yeah, Transit Connect. They're physically a lot bigger. I think they've got bigger bearings, stronger shafts, stronger gears. A lot of our guys, or the boys that we hang around with who are doing drag racing, use these gearboxes. It's not a straightforward fit in the car though. You've got to, well today we've got to convert it over to a hydraulic clutch.
Yeah.
It doesn't physically...
Table shifts.
Yeah,
it doesn't physically fit in the bay. The mounts aren't right, the drive shafts aren't right. The only thing is they bolt up to the engine and you can get a clutch easy, but...
Yeah, apart from that, it's it's an easy one. So Zach's obviously already made a good start on it. The last couple of nights he's been working away on the car. So he's got the engine gearbox out. He's put the new gearbox on to offer it up in the car. You've taken all of the radiator, drive shafts, turbo, everything out of the way so we can actually, and you've already started cutting the inner seal.
I think that's the smallest cutout we might get away with, so I think we'll probably have to go a little bit bigger.
Yeah, so the plan is I think we're going to throw the engine up, just offer it up and just check where we're at, and we might have to obviously trim a bit more out. And then, yeah, we need to work on sorting out a master cylinder up here for the clutch and making mounts, because there's no, you can't use the original sort of, it's not a cradle on this, is it? It's like...
No, because I was on the RS1600i, so I had Mark III Escort mounts.
And that
so
won't fit.
Little plate at the front, little plate at the back, but no, they don't fit, nothing fits.
So we'll have to do a inner chassis rail mount up here. We've got a stabiliser bar, which Crazy Cage has made, and utilising the top mount up there, trying to get it all level and in the car. Luckily, Zach bought all these bits from Dale Sheaves, and he's got a Mark III, or had a Mark III Escort drag car. So these are kind of all his bits.
Everything bolts up.
Yeah.
It's drive shafts, mounts,
yeah,
clutch cable.
Gearbox, Big Boy clutch. Is the clutch already on the engine?
Yeah. I've got some photos of that.
Yeah.
During the assembly and stuff.
Yeah, so, yeah, all of the shifter, drive shafts, I think they're Crazy Cage welded shafts, but they've been proven for
shaft bracket.
300 brake horsepower, launches at Santa Pod on slicks. Yeah, drive shaft bracket for the back of the engine block. It's a good starting point. You've got a new starter motor, just in case the old starter motor from the IB5 doesn't fit.
Yeah, well I think I might treat myself to a new starter motor.
Yeah, I think you should.
That one's old and a bit slow, I think.
So yeah, that's pretty much it. So all we've got to do now is finish off our cups of coffee and then throw the engine in the bay and see how much more we've got to trim out.
I think just to say, the other big advantage of going MTX is you get the 240mm clutch over the 220mm clutch.
Oh, and
what another problem everybody has with BCs and IB5s is not having a clutch that can handle big power.
Yeah, and the gear ratios in this box are pretty sick.
Oh yeah, the diesel gear ratios, so might be able to do like 200 miles an hour.
Sick. Yeah, this is going to be good, and it's got a diff in it already, hasn't it?
Yeah,
it's got
Quaiffe ATB Focus RS.
Yeah, so I'll be doing big fat 11s up the road. Awesome. All right, yeah, let's crack on and offer it up in the hole and see where we're at. Probably going to end up cutting it right up. So laser cut some brackets that we can use, trim up. This is the mount that came with the gearbox. So we can weld something like that onto the inner chassis rail. Everything fits all right. Gonna have to massage the inside of this a little bit to clear the bolts on the end of the casing. And the counterweight actually hits on the servo bracket. So we either remake the servo bracket, but I'm sure you can just cut that counterweight off. I don't think you need it.
Photos of how other people have done it.
you want this one's the one. Do it off of that, I reckon.
At least enough both sides for.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So we're just going to weld this folded little 3mm plate onto the chassis rail for a bit of extra strength, and then our tabs will come off here to mount onto the actual gearbox mount. That should do us. Weld that on. Did you want to gun ho that on now? Do you want to just spot that on and then weld it all up with the engine out?
Yeah, probably, yeah, just try and get a few decent spots on it.
So using the old cardboard template, we worked out the notch on the chassis rail, and then we're just going to cut that out of the laser cut brackets and then spot them all on. Mint. Yeah, that come out really good. Now all you've got to do is just weld it and it not all turn to crap. Yeah.
Probably where it helps massively to have a matching mount that side rather than having a rear mount.
Yeah. Do people run the mount on this side, this mount on this side, with that mount on that side? Okay. So we've tacked that in. We're going to drop the engine back out, sort out the chassis rail, fettle it out a bit with a hammer, and then plate it all in, paint everything, finish off welding that up, paint everything, and then we're on to the master cylinder, and then we can put the engine back up inside and sort out the bottom mount underneath the car. So is the boot rubbing on that bit?
It ain't fucking far off. Let's try and have a look down from the top and mark it, which give it a couple of little speed dents.
Someone's recommended to Zach that this drive shaft is really tight.
Needs a bit of a
really tight on the when you're fitting it to this car, and we just offered it up, and the boot is actually rubbing on the TCA mount. So we're going to give that a little tap-a-roo, sort this area out, and then offer it all back up and tighten everything up again and see where we're at. Steady. Steady.
Sorry.
It's like being at the banger racing track. Little bit of clearance now for the drive shaft, and a bit more clearance for the gearbox. And then if we raise it up, get underneath it, and do the bottom mount, is that the plan? With this contraption holding it level.
Sort of.
So we've got the engine as level as we can get it, and now we're just going to offer up the back brace that bolts onto the back of the gearbox, so the diff.
We'll bolt this on here like this.
Yeah.
Weld 2 tabs on the car.
Mid.
And then try and brace across from here to here, which should be interesting. And then worry about the front. I'm not sure what we're going to do at the front. It's not really. Again, Dale had a plate made, but he had it made. It sits really nicely in here, but I've got a turbo in the way.
Where does the boost pipe comes down this way though, doesn't it? You really want to come off the bell housing, don't you?
You might have to come off of like here.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That looks like it's ready to just crack off under a massive like sidestep clutch launch with big slicks. I think you'd be better to try and tie it off of this one. Right, so on Zach's car, he's obviously got the turbo up here, the boost pipe coming down and off to the intercooler. So this front bracket wouldn't fit because this piece was actually up here. So for now, I've literally chopped the end off, relocated it. I'm going to grind a little bit more off here. I'm going to weld this up fully, and we're just going to mount a brace from the front cross member over to here, and I'm going to take a sort of stencil of this, redraw that one. I'll probably, I'll recut that, and whilst I'm recutting that, I'm probably going to recut this one as well. Just so it's got a little cock and bollocks cutting it for Zach, because he likes that. So that's the back brace spot welded in, tack welded in, always say spot welded, I don't know why. We're just cleaning up the front. Gonna do another bit of 3mm plate with a fold on top to weld onto the front cross member, and then it's gonna have another couple of tabs coming forward, and we'll do the same. Obviously, this is just a temporary bracket cut out of the original bracket that we got off Dale. I've already drawn up the new revised brackets, ready to get laser cut out 5mm steel. Driver's side drive shaft's also pretty close, so we're gonna have to give that a little bit of a tap to get some better clearance on that. But other than that, this is pretty much where the engine's gonna end up. Might need to tweak the exhaust down as well. It's all looking good. Right, so we tack welded all of the front mount, back mount, and the gearbox mount. We're just gonna drop the engine out again, so then we can buzz around everything properly with a welder, and obviously fill in the gearbox cutout properly, dust it with a bit of paint, and then we can concentrate on doing the clutch master cylinder, and I don't know what else there is to do. Oh yeah, the gear cables, because we've gone from a linkage on the old gearbox to the Focus style gear cables, so we've got to run them through the bulkhead as well and mount that in the car somehow. Just sorting out the cutout bit, I'm going to weld a plate in there and then dress all that up as well with a strip, and then we can weld everything else up and give it a lick of paint and throw the engine back in.
Go do burnouts.
Go do burnouts.
Glove it in, mate.
Just going to glove. On fire watch duties.
Cheers.
I didn't mean to do that.
No doubt with all of this, put it back in, it won't actually fit.
The hammer will come back out.
Hit it.
Zaks just welded that plate in, and I've just made this little slither of steel to go in and take up the gap, so I've just got to weld that in.
Template for the
Master cylinder for the clutch pedal, so you've got to drill that massive hole out.
yeah.
Sick. How's that going?
Yeah, really good.
That's all the brackets in, prime it up, just going to blow a bit of colour over them. You're in a position where the engine could go back in.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
I'd give it 5-10 minutes before you start blasting it with that stuff.
Totally not going to.
Paint reaction in 3, 2, 1. Fucking. It's all rattle canned up. Doesn't look too bad. Let that dry.
About 30 seconds.
About 30 seconds and then we'll wang the engine back in. Right, so the engine's going into the freshly painted bay. So there you have it, it's all bolted up on the new mounts. The tyre bar on the front, it just needs a bolt in it, and the back one finishing off, but that's pretty much it for now. I'm going to have to shoot off home. Zach's going to persevere, put all the inlet on. Not too sure whether it's going to clear the master cylinder, but everything else can go back on, all the pipe work, radiator, intercooler, and hopefully you'll get it all finished off tomorrow, because you've got to drive it to work on Monday, haven't you?
Well, I've got to drive it out of work.
To drive it to work,
Yeah.
as this is his daily, so.
Well, to be fair, I think he would maybe tell him slight bits. I do have the Sierra now.
True, but the plan was to get this running tomorrow. I don't think we've done too bad,
No, I think we've done quite well. Actually.
and we haven't rushed anything. It's all been at a leisurely pace.
Everything's done to a reasonable standard.
Yeah, it looks like it should work, and the engine looks like it's in the right place, so I'm pretty pleased with that.
Yeah, man.
Cool. So until next time, catch you guys later. Right, we can't leave the video there. We have to see the car actually work and all back together. So I've just popped down a couple of days later, and Zach got it running on what day? Tuesday?
Tuesday night.
Yeah, so we also managed to redo the brackets. So Zach's literally just painted that with the little willy in it. And we've also done a double-sided part to it, so that the rose joint goes down in the middle. I think it's going to be a little bit stronger and a little gusset. And we've redone
The weakest point's now probably where you've cut the cock, isn't it?
Probably, yeah, but I don't think it's going to go anywhere. And then we've done that one again with a little willy, standard. Yeah, everything else is up and in and all up and running. Just sorting out the front bracket. All of the cable linkage has gone in. Oh, did you have to hack that hole in the floor?
Yeah, man.
Fair enough.
As you can tell, I've
You
done.
might want to do a little bit of
Oh no, I need
heat
a little
shield.
heat shield there. Definitely.
Yeah, I've got the cable shift
Yeah.
tower thing in there. Drive shaft bracket all bolted up all right?
Crazy angle drive shafts.
Yeah, is the clearance all right on?
Yeah, loads of clearance, but yeah, they're pretty crazy angle.
Cool. So we'll get that front bracket on and then we'll take it for a little drive around the block. So you remember we said we were concerned about the inlet hitting the master cylinder that we bought. It did hit, so Zach had to buy another master cylinder with a remote reservoir. So you can see you've got a little reservoir pot that runs down, and it's still quite tight,
Oh yeah,
but it's in.
everything's.
And at least you did that, and you didn't hack a big hole and dent the inlet manifold, because that would have been
I did seriously consider cutting.
Or just cutting a
hole
big
in the inlet and
corner off
plate
of it. Yeah.
over.
And it drives better.
Transform the car.
Good.
Absolute transform bit. The clutch is nicer. The gear changes are nicer. It just drives really well.
And the ratios seem pretty good.
Ratios are really good. Nice cruises on the motorway at 70 under 3,000 RPM.
Nice. Better than my 6-speed.
Yeah, 10,000 RPM. Believe it or not, the rose joints transmit less vibration than the
In the old
competition
engine.
spec vibrating.
But then I suppose you have got that big rubber at the other end, so it's not like you've solid mounted it in that respect. And I take it the gear shift. What about the weight, where we hacked that weight off? You don't notice anything with
I
the...
don't know. Well, I didn't really feel it with it on.
No, but it doesn't feel like
It doesn't feel weird or
abnormal.
anything. No, it's
Yeah,
like
cool.
really nice.
So that's the cable shift all mounted up. You said that you can get one that's a little bit less.
Yeah, apparently a standard 2 litre Focus one, all the cables come out the bottom. More like, I think it's the same as your ST170 one, so you can actually hide everything underneath.
So
the
you could
centre
put the
console.
centre console back in, and it will be a bit more stealth.
Yeah, I actually weirdly quite like just like the raw look of having that all on show.
Yeah. Do you need the centre console?
No,
You could just tidy up.
I used to keep all my cassettes in it from the 80s, but other than that,
What's the clutch feel like?
it was nice, man. Feel it.
Yeah, it's nice. Time to go for a little test drive.
I've watched like one episode of that.
Yeah, that's what I didn't know. Even got a heads up speedo. Like a fighter plane. Fast jet.
£15 eBay special. That must be the cheapest way to get round not having a speedo cable.
I need a winder handle.
I know. This car needs a lot of things.
Yeah. If anyone's got a winder handle for a Mark IV Escort, tap us up. Before we do anything, we've got to go get some fuel because Zach drives everywhere with literally no fuel in it.
Classic Zach. Gear ratio's been this long, like if it didn't get me in trouble before, it's definitely going to get me in trouble now. Fucking hell.
What?
I couldn't see the fucking light on, I couldn't see nothing.
Where's the little plug on from? Is it just flying up? Yeah, I'll put my hand over it. Yeah, she's rowdy.
They even will spin in the wet, that feels really fun.
Yeah, so that's it. It's all up and running. Works really well.
Even more death trap than it was before.
But it's a refined death trap this time.
Oh yeah, it's like a really nice daily death trap.